So I will call this meeting to order. And my name's Phil Newbeck. I'm sitting in for Jeff York. So the agenda today is new business, a request to the DRB by Raymond and Louise Miglionico for a sketch plan review for a 2-lot subdivision at 69 Vermont Route 15 in the Village Center District. After that, we'll approve the minutes from April 24th. So the first thing I want to do is ask folks if there have been any ex parte communications
No. About what?
about the sketch plan.
No, well, yes. I provided plans that I worked on that property years ago. That's all. The data. I gave them the site data for Miglionico.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it.
But that was years ago and that was factual.
That was for a failed wastewater system. I did a site plan. They asked me if I could have the data. She gave them permission for me to release it.
Okay.
And that's
So
Yeah, do that.
nothing to do with this
No.
submission.
nothing.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Right.
I've been involved in just about every process.
Okay.
Well, actually, they don't, since they're the applicant, ideally before they leave, they'll sign in.
Right.
But it's sketch plan, since it's no decision, I'll leave it up to you.
So I don't have to do interested persons.
You gotta forget
No,
it.
you should, we open it, you should.
Yeah, okay. All right. So now we're starting. So although we don't have a huge audience, there is, just in case, I need to talk about the interested persons rule. And the reason that's important is that the only people who can appeal a decision are those who are interested parties. And interested persons are the applicant, or if the applicant doesn't own the subject property, the person owning title. Person owning or occupying property in the immediate neighborhood who can demonstrate an impact on their interest and alleges that the decision, if confirmed, would violate the municipal plan or bylaw. And any 10 persons who signed a petition to the DRB and alleged that the decision would violate municipal plan or bylaw. Also, in order to be, and again, this is somewhat not applicable since you're all actual applicants, but we need everybody, you can't appeal unless you've taken part in the decision. One thing I'm going to need is for everyone to sign in. You can do that afterwards. And if there are any guests, to put your information in the chat room. Now, since this is a quasi-judicial procedure, I'm going to have to read an oath. And I'm going to ask everybody here to say I do, if you agree with the oath. And in case there's anyone watching, I'd like them to type I do in the comment box. So, I hereby swear that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
All right. In that case, I'd like to invite whoever is the spokesperson to come forward and tell us about this. And state your name for the record.
Sure. I'm Joe Flynn. I'm a land surveyor with the Leary Burke Civil Associates, and I will be representing Louise and Raymond on the sketch plan hearing this evening. Just a quick overview. Currently, they own a 1-acre lot in the village center.
And you can look out the window and see
There
it.
it is, right there. It is a 1-acre lot. It's currently served by municipal water and an on-site septic system. It consists of a existing 4-bedroom home, a home business without plumbing, and a historical barn. It is served by a curb cut, actually 2 curb cuts off Route 15 that connect here and reach here. Overall, right now, the 1-acre lot has an existing density of 25%. The acceptable is 60% in this zone. The proposal that we bring tonight is to do a subdivision of that 1-acre lot. What they are looking to do is subdivide off 1/3 of the lot in the rear to facilitate a new home for their son. What we're proposing again is municipal connection to water, on-site wastewater, a new access drive coming in here, coming down along the edge of the property and accessing right here. One of the things I wanted to discuss too, again, as far as density and impervious, we're at 25% right now, even with the addition of this 12-foot wide private drive. We're only gonna hit 32%, so we're well under density. And again, this is small enough where, again, we won't be anywhere near the density for that either. Right, also, is in regards to stormwater and so on, any disturbance is well under an acre, so we're not into any erosion control procedures we have to worry about, nothing on stormwater. It's a very minor addition. Again, we're just looking to subdivide for an existing house for their son in the rear.
Do folks have any questions?
Yeah.
How close is that drive gonna be to that barn?
So as you can see right here, here's the drive right here. Okay, that's the actual 12 feet. The 30-foot, and again, in this zone, this lot won't have frontage, but regulations, I think it's 5.5, allow for a parcel with no frontage to be accessed by a 30-foot right of way. So we have a 30-foot right of way easement to cross lot 1 to access lot 2 right here.
Does that fit?
It does fit.
Good.
Does the easement go through the barn?
Yes, right here, this section right here.
So the drive looks like it's directly up against the base of the barn?
Correct. So there is some play in the location of the driveway. We're here for a sketch.
Mhm.
If we want to bring it down, again, we have no trouble putting a 12-foot wide drive in 30 feet.
Yeah.
And it can come in and slide sideways and come down here and come back in.
So, Joe, you had mentioned, you said historic barn, is it on the register by chance?
Yes, it is.
Are there any historic preservation requirements that have to be followed in terms of? Usually it's about the building, but I don't know about the periphery of the building and proximity of drives or
Yeah.
how a drive could affect foundations of an old structure.
Yeah. Since,
I'm sorry,
Excavation.
the whole, the whole town center is on the register. And this is considered one of the contributing.
If you could just state your name for the record, sorry, Louise.
Oh, sorry, Louise Miglionico. And the building itself is not separately on the National Register, but it is part of the National Register of Jericho Corners. Like my house is not separately on the register and the barn isn't separate.
So it's on a state list.
Okay.
And it's more for inventory reasons.
yeah,
And because of that, if they wanted to modify or change the barn, they would have to follow the appropriate
Of course,
rules. So,
Yeah.
but beyond that, with regards to this submission, it really doesn't have much in any way of playing into that.
Okay.
Because there's nothing proposed for the barn.
I heard historic and asked the question and just wanted to be mindful of undermining any. Yeah, you never know if it's a dry laid foundation, so.
He'll pitch it the other way.
What are the legal implications if the easement encroaches on the building or vice versa?
well, so that is,
That's where we're going, right?
yep, it's
Yeah.
exact. So as a surveyor, and again, keep in mind that this is the easement. The property still will be owned by lot 1. The easement is a right to get from here to here. The purpose of the easement is only, although they spec out 30 feet, the easement's for access. So the interpretation of the easement is even if it does go through the barn, as long as it does not impede upon the actual use of that easement, everything is being met. So as long as you can get by that barn safely, and again, we can bring this in, move it over to the right some, bring it back
With utilities.
with utilities, we should be fine and not have to disturb it. Because again, the ownership underneath that, all that, still remain within lot 1.
Mhm.
And the easement that's gonna be provided, it's just for egress in and out, nothing.
And utilities.
Nothing beyond that.
Correct.
Just curious, the land in back, is that treed at this point or open?
Yes, actually, good question. It's hard to see with the the grayscale on the ortho, but there are trees right here and you can see the setback is pretty much right here. So based upon this in the envelope, most of those trees look like they're gonna stay for a buffer between the Wilcox residence and this parcel. I have some, oh, you got 11x17s,
I can blow it up too.
and I've got a full size if someone wants to.
I mean, I've got this, but
You can see the trees there.
You can see them.
It's very gradual. It's
And on this area here,
all gravel.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have any?
no, it's a sketch basically from a zoning standpoint. There's a few things they need to do to authorize and cross their Ts, but this is very straightforward and you know, is allowable and this zone district.
We'll need legals for the easement.
Yeah, I mean, those will all have to be in place for the creation of the lot.
Yeah.
So basically, if this were to be approved, the board could approve with a condition that within 180 days, the Mylar be filed as well as all the appropriate legals, including usually within our decision, it states that all easements and legal things tied to a subdivision need to be shown on the plat as well as recorded. So
One thing that will have some guidance, I don't know if you go back to Route 15, is currently there's 2 curb cuts. Again, since it's a state highway, we have to deal with a state highway access permit. We do not know how they will treat the 2 curb cuts.
Ask you that, because I'm guessing, you know, they like to leverage you.
Yes, so, but again, it's state mandated, so whatever we have to
Might
do,
Get rid of
Exactly.
one of those.
one of those
That's
might go
not
away,
something
more
we
likely
can
maybe
control.
this one, and
It's a good
Access.
bargaining chip for what it's worth.
it always should, yeah. I love Ed Pierce.
I guess the only thing on that end is if I was the owner and was running a business here, is what's the nature of the delivery vehicles? And
Oh,
this
it's-
makes for an easy access in and out. So that's just something
Again, that's,
that you guys can consider.
we can look at it, we can work with Louise and so on, Louise and Raymond on it. But again, it's obviously we'll apply to the state and with just this and wait for them to tell us what to
Yes, you're
do.
not gonna volunteer.
We won't volunteer the information. But I wanted to clarify that it falls under their jurisdiction.
What if they're watching tonight?
I hope they got more to do.
Is the new drive that's proposed where the current parking is for the business, how does? When you come in, it looks like it's on the right of the home business,
Yeah, we're coming in on this side right here.
So the business there.
so that would maintain 5 parking spots, okay, I see that.
Yeah.
Here.
Right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like infill, it's what we want, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I presume in that case that the deeds, there'd be some maintenance agreement about if that's business, they're gonna be using that driveway, right?
we can work with the applicant on getting the shared maintenance agreement for this and so on. Yep. Yes, we suspect that'll be part of the legals.
And recommendations.
And the septic is gonna be right on the property line, or I can't read. what
That's all.
that says.
Well, again, that's under state jurisdiction, but if you scroll up, you know, we've kind of designated an area based upon consultant's opinion.
Yeah. Well, you would get the sketch plan out of the way, then you'll do the rest of it.
Yeah, we'll do the rest. We'll poke some holes and take a look. But
Yeah.
we don't anticipate any issues with this.
It's all gravel. My experience with it. That whole area is all mat gravel.
Anything else?
No, I think that's.
I'm gonna open it up to public comment. Is there anyone watching?
Oh,
Can't say
I
I blame
think
you if
there
you're
is.
not. Not that this isn't fascinating. but-
oh, maybe not. No, it's two TV people.
15 minutes. Gonna be
I'm
done.
good. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Easy peasy.
Yeah,
all
well, we
set.
will discuss and see if we have any recommendations beyond what's been said, but
Very good.
it's pretty straightforward.
All right.
Okay,
Well, thank you.
so, yeah.
I'd have to go home and do laundry.
Sign,
Yeah.
Yes.
guys, if you could sign out, sign in on the way out.
Certainly, you too. Yeah, me too.
Thanks so much.
Yep, have a good nice evening.
Actually. I ran with these up in well, have those.
So we just have minutes.
Yeah, so why don't we do that? So, if folks have had a chance to review the minutes of April 24th, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Okay, so I'm gonna close the public hearing.
yes.
Uh,
Public meeting.
Stop sharing.